It's the 31st of December 1994. Your name is Valery, and you're a 24-year-old Russian conscript from a small town about 100 miles east of Moscow. At the age of 24, you're one of the oldest conscripts in your armoured vehicle, or BMP. The interior of your vehicle is sandy beige, with coils of loose electrical cable trailing through the jagged metal, rattling around as you trundle over the rugged Chechyan steppe. The mountains blend into open, frozen terrain, and the barren land appears to sprout out small huts and brick houses around you as you draw nearer to the city Grozny, which in Chechen literally means fearsome. Why are you there? You don't fully understand politics, land disputes, breakaway regions, blah blah blah. But who are your enemy? Your comrades seem to view these people as a primitive mountain people that will surrender and not put up much of a fight. You're not convinced though. You remember Haji Murat, Tolstoy's novella from your Russian literature classes at school, and the portrayal of the Chechens as a fearsome, battle-hardened, proud and disciplined people. You still remember the stories that your father told you when you were growing up about the Chechens, about what a rugged and formidable fighting force they are, and here you are, in their front garden, ready to try and take over for reasons that you don't even fully understand. Despite this, in the tense, claustrophobic, diesel-smelling BMP, a palpable excitement radiates amongst the young men, ready to return to their families as hero soldiers. Your vehicle trundles past a sign that has the words "Welcome to Hell" sprayed over it. Over the unsecured, open-channel radio frequency that you use, you make out a conversation between your commander and a Chechen commander.
Алик, давай, может быть, как-нибудь, пока не поздно, отведите ребят, Алик, не делайте это, не надо. Вы в любом случае, Алик, пойми, и ты погибнешь, и я погибну. Что с этого толку будет? Сам правильно пойми, кто от этого выиграет. Мы же от этого с тобой не выиграем, понимаешь? Если я тебя увижу в бою, понимаешь, что ты отлично, не отлично, уже я тебя судить не буду, так же, как и ты меня, понимаешь? Ты лучше ко мне как гость приедь, Алик. Отводи ребят, не надо, пожалей их матерей, пожалей их самих, отводи ребят, Алик, дай команду. Я не такой большой начальник, чтобы давать такие команды.
The conversation leaves even more of a chill. Your armoured vehicle approaches the edge of the city and slips into Grozny. You penetrate the drab, grey, bleak-looking concrete apartments and disappear into the city. The veil between you and your home has been sealed. You're on your way to reinforce troops who have already established a checkpoint position at Grozny railway station. As you anxiously look at the towering concrete buildings around you, you think you can see some silhouettes move in the upper windows. You press deeper into the city. You clutch your AK-47 rifle and prepare to fire at anything that fires at you, but still, nothing. Perhaps it evacuated the city and fled to the mountains to coordinate from there. It's possible. The sound of the tracks under your vehicle, crunching on the frozen ground, and the screeching, mechanical rumble of your BMP is the only thing that you can hear. You can feel the hairs on your neck start to stand up. You still have the chills, and you look around at the faces of your fellow troops who are peering out of the window. Your commander tells you that you're at your RV point, the train station. The hatch to the rear of your BMP opens, and you are blinded as bright light floods your eyes. You squint for a second. You're exposed at all angles, from the tall buildings that surround you. You're in the heart of a hostile city, which you've just rolled into, similar to how you'd arrive at a military parade. Being closest to the door, you climb out first. Your legs are numb from cramp, and you feel the frozen muck under your khaki green boots. You look towards the train station, and then start moving towards it. You look for instructions from a commander. Should you run, move to take cover? There are no commands, and your fear of embarrassing yourself in front of the troops inside the station balances itself against the fear of possible snipers. Then, Grozny explodes.
Хочу спрятать вам как мы отчизну любим сильно, как просто жизнь отдает, собой любовь и отчизну. А дело что? Оно не вечное. Мы созданы жить лишь во имя Аллаха, во имя Аллаха. Пророк нас учил принимать смерть без страха, пылающим сердце огнем.
Rocket-propelled grenades hit the vehicles at the front and rear of your column, preventing the other BMPs from being able to escape. A hail of fire rains down on your vehicles, and your commander's head explodes from sniper fire. You throw yourself into the ground behind your BMP, along with a few of your comrades. You can't lift your head to see where the fire is coming from, but the troops who are still in the BMP are cut down with automatic fire, as you hear them scream from within the troop carrier. You turn to the BMP that's in front of yours, and inside the conscripts are frozen, not moving from their seats with a look of terror on their faces. The machine gunner aims the turret towards the attacking Chechens at the top of the building, but their barrel can't aim high enough. The most it can reach is 2 stories below the Chechens who are pulverizing your column. But how could they have known this? It's almost like they drove the BMPs themselves, and they knew the limitations of the weapons and they'd planned the whole thing. Which they did, of course, during the Soviet-Afghanistan war when they fought as comrades alongside the Russians. At this point, your comrades have buried themselves into the ground as waves of numb horror pulsate throughout your body. You can't even see the enemy, let alone fire at them. So what you don't know is that small groups of insurgents have been camping throughout the city. Each small team has an RPG, sniper, and a couple of rifles. Your post at the train station is surrounded at all sides, and Dadaev's troops are distributed throughout the city, communicating secretly through closed-channel radio circuits, where your radios are open circuit, meaning the Chechen insurgents can feign being your command, giving you fake orders and false information to confuse you. Amid the chaos, one sound jumps out at you and scorches itself deep within your psyche. A grenade strikes your BMP and thick black smoke spews out, engulfing you, providing you with temporary cover. Cloaked in darkness, you yell at your troops to follow you and run towards where you think the train station is, away from your BMP. As the smoke clears, the iconic white entrance to the train station emerges, and you pour your way through a basement entrance and into the building. Inside the terminal is pure chaos. The brigade commander is barking at command on the radio, offering what could only be described as an emotional appeal for help. He is told there is nothing that they can do.
Москву позвоняют, тут у нас говорят незначительные конфликты по телевизору. Это значит бои в окружении и уничтожение. Что, боитесь ниже опуститься, что ли? Что вы, мать вашу, заснули, что ли? Да ничего, помощь нам дайте, помощь, вывести 300-х, 200-х и нам выехать отсюда. Сейчас еще 10-15 минут, нас здесь полностью всех накроет, Вы не бойтесь, сейчас под прикрытием темноты захватите пару чеченских семей. Объявите, что вы взяли за здесь прикрытием находиться в доме. Круговой оборот. Вот такой вариант последний тебе предлагаю. Как понял прием? Понял вас, понял. Но этим, которые здесь в этом районе находятся, им плохо, все плохо. Чечены, не чечены. Мы им главное. Они на это не пойдут. Не пойдут на это. Как вы меня поняли, прием? Стой, ты успокойся. Я понимаю твое состояние. Я сам в таком состоянии целый день сегодня. Ты, пожалуйста, успокойся. Под прикрытием темноты можно дойти, здесь не так много. Ползком где-нибудь, перебежками, маленькими группами, прикрывая друг друга. 5 человек ползет, 5 стреляет. У нас 2-3 ты предлагаешь, у меня некого к тебе послать. Сейчас понял прием. Ну все, мы будем решать сами, сами. Спасибо вам за помощь.
You, alongside 300 other Russian troops, are holding out the train station as Chechens occupy the surrounding buildings, move underneath you in sewer systems, and destroy the other Russian units trying to fight their way into the ruined city. Around 60% of fatalities were likely due to friendly fire, meanwhile the enemy fire from basement and top floor positions, too high or low for the tanks or BMPs to reach with their turret guns. Street signs had also been swapped for added confusion, and Russians were picked off as they tried to escape from their burning vehicles. It had become clear to every man that they had climbed into a giant hornet's nest. You prop yourself up against a window and begin firing at enemy positions in the buildings opposite. You are pinned down by 360 degrees of fire and entirely surrounded. You hear someone shout that the enemy is moving down the railway tracks. As you take cover or reload, you realise that you are already a quarter of the way through your ammo. Bullets ricochet into the train terminal, and you are not sure how long this battle has raged. Hours, minutes, who knows. Measuring time through the ammo that you've used, you realise that it couldn't have been long. As an untrained conscript, you begin spraying your second magazine of ammo out the window, short bursts several feet from any target. You then prop your head up to take aim, and are thrown back into the ground. You feel warm liquid gush out of your chest, then the pain hits. As you lay in the blown-out terminal, your troops around you firing through the windows. You can see the sun setting and darkness drawing in. Foreign soil below you. The cold ground presses against your back. You think of Tolstoy's novella, Haji Murat. You can't think why this springs to mind again, but it does. You remember that particular literature lesson during school. Your mind returns to your home, your land, your flag. A feeling of warmth envelops you. This isn't patriotism, it's a deeper love of your motherland, a yearning to return, an understanding that you would do anything to be back home. You would do anything for your home, to defend your home. You close your eyes, and there ceases to be a distinction between you and the darkness. Estimates vary, but between 40 to 60,000 people died during the first of two Chechen wars. The fictional character in this short story was part of the Mykop Brigade, which suffered horrific losses during the Battle of Grozny, with around 1 in 3 of its men killed or missing.